Hi, I'm Christopher Dunn again. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Geo 4-light pendant. This is going to be the 131550. It's also a 6-light version of this and a beautiful wall sconce. Check it out if you can do that for me. Let's get into the height of the fixture body, independent of the rods that it's going to be hanging from. And you're looking at height 20.9 inches, so almost 21 inches high, and then this is a 4-light, don't forget, so you're going to have a kind of a diameter going on that's 20.9. Almost 21. Overall height, now you're talking about the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the actual ceiling is going to give you a very good range on this. Shortest it can be is 26.2. Longest it can be with the pipes they're going to ship with this, it's going to be 68.2. If you need to go beyond that 68.2, this is going to ship with 11 feet of wire. Plus you have the height of the fixture body itself, which we said was 20.9. So that gets me to about almost 12 feet, 150 inches. If you need to do that, we just have to order some extra kits for you. The kits are going to have 1 12, 1 6, and 1 3-inch pipe. So you just have to figure out what you need from there. If you need to go well beyond that 12 feet, we do custom lengths. So let's say you're coming down from a 3-story building or something, ceiling, we can get you down pretty far. You just email us, so you're looking at the 131550. I'm going to take your email, send it through the customs department. It'll come back with an answer. It's just a little bit of time and money, but we do customs every day, so don't be afraid to ask. It is free to ask. Let's get into lots of other little details on this. Canopy up in the ceiling is going to be 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches. It's going to go over your standard 4-inch junction box, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. The glass on this is really interesting. It's made in Connecticut by Wallingford Glass Industries, which is a leader in slump glass, art slump glass in America. So they've been around a long time, and what they do is basically, slump glass is going to be when you're actually melting glass into a form in a kiln, which is a super hot oven. And there's going to be 2 versions of this. One version is going to be clear, but that clear is still going to have a bit of a pattern and a wave to it, kind of like running water. So it's going to distort the bulb in the back, but you'll still be able to see somewhat through it. And the other one is going to be called frost, and that's kind of like a milky frost in the glass itself, because don't forget, this is slump glass, so it's going to look very interesting. I think it's a really pretty piece of glass, and they've used it in other places too, which I think is great. Now let's go back over and talk about a few other things like this, and that's going to be really important. So you're going to have lots of things details to look at, and one good way to do it is to look at the installations instructions with me right now. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It's going to show you first a full parts list. All the parts are going to come with it. You're going to, and on this fixture, you're going to get 4 of the 12. You're going to get 1 of the 6 and 1 of the 3 just to begin. You're also going to be getting your canopy, you're going to be getting your glass, all those good things that go together. These are going to go together with what are called connectors, and they're threaded pieces like this. These pipes have threading on each end, and a good way to look at that is to just put them together. So why don't we talk about that for a second. So assembling this is pretty easy. On that page, you're going to see a chart. That chart is going to have lots of overall heights listed from the ceiling to the bottom of the fixture, a whole thing. And it's going to show you which combination of which of these pipes you're going to use to get to those overall heights. So take advantage of that. It's there for a really good reason. This is slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees already. There's going to be a knuckle at the very top of this where it meets this, allowing this to be slope ceiling adaptable. It's going to be kind of set up like that. The knuckle is going to be right there. So you're okay if you've got slope going on. Now, putting it together again, you're not going to put your glass on until the very end, and once it's all up, what I would probably do is put a table, on a table like this, I would probably put a blanket down. The part that has the sockets, I'll put at one end. I'm going to figure out which of these pipes I'm going to need to get to the overall height that I need for my project, and I'm going to put them down, and I'm going to basically fish those little wires through the parts one by one. So through a pipe, through a connector, through a pipe, through a connector, excuse me, and eventually you're going to exit your canopy up on the top. So what happens then is you just screw them together. So very simple. The engineering on this is so good and so tight you barely even see a line. It's a nice clean look all the way up. So there you go with that. Let's talk about now what's going on as far as lamping goes, bulbs and sockets. You've got 4 sockets, don't forget. They're the type Bs, and that's a chandelier socket. Those are the smaller bulbs we grew up with. We all remember these. They've been around forever. They just screw in, nothing special about them. You can get incandescent still in these. So if you want to go incandescent, you can go for 60-watt incandescent. That's going to be your max. This is a flame tip. This is a torpedo. This is actually an LED, a phosphorus LED, which is cool. And I found this at my local grocery store in Vermont. So if I can find it, you can find it. It's everywhere. There's no big limit as far as these go because they don't generate heat, and that's what the 60-watt incandescent limit is. But most of these in the marketplace are going to be a little limited in what you can get. It's easy to get them in 40-watt equivalent. It's easy to get them in 60-watt equivalent. I found them in 75-watt equivalent on Amazon, and a customer of mine sent me a link where one was a little taller, and it was pretty cool. It was 100-watt equivalent. So they're all out there for you to find. And you can find them at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, again, your grocery store or Amazon or any of those bulbs websites. They're going to offer these bulbs to you in all kinds of different ways when you go looking. They're going to offer them to you in 2700 Kelvin, and that's that super yellow light like a setting sun. They're also going to offer these to you in something called daylight, and that's one you have to be really aware of because that's going to be that bluish white light. It's not going to be a warm light like sunlight. Daylight is 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale, and that is pretty white and pretty blue, like an overcast day. What we like to use in our showroom, which is easy to get as well, is warm white, soft white, and that's going to be 3,000 Kelvin. And when I look up here and I see these LEDs, these are casting 3,000 Kelvin warm white, soft white. And you can see how nice it looks on this table. So it kind of is a lot like an incandescent bulb that we grew up with. A lot of people think these are incandescent bulbs, but when we kind of show them around the showroom and show them they're all LEDs, they're kind of they're pretty impressed. So anyway, so easy to get. Just find out what you need as far as how much light you need to come out of these. That's going to be pretty easy too. Make sure you buy a dimmable version when you go out. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below. So scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart. So you can click on dark smoke. You can click on soft gold. Doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.